This game is rated M by the ESRB. I'll fight them off.
Don't do anything that'll make you stand out, moron. Just act with your brains, okay?
Hey, can we go already?
Are you sure you'll be all right?
It's just a day trip. Don't underestimate me.
Right. Sorry. Guess I just have to let it go. Have fun, but be careful, you two.
That's, best dad.
Best new dad.
Oh, man, it's packed.
Sorry for the wait. Got a better opinion of me now? What? Cat got your tongue? Come on.
Are we messing around?
What? This is perfect! There's nothing perfect about that. Stay still for a second. You'll be just fine.
Fucking Yusuke.
What does he keep doing that?
He's doing his camera shit.
He's like fucking...
He's an artist. What's he doing?
I don't know. I don't know why he keeps doing that. And you're not limited to 16:9 ratio,
I can't
you fuck.
even do that with my fingers.
You can't do that? You just fucking flip me.
You do it.
Come on, you
do it.
I'm doing it right now.
How do you do it?
You fucking, like, you fucking point to the... Take your left hand and point to the right. You doing the finger gun.
You
And then
guys are
take your
here.
right hand and point to the left, but do it upside
I was doing
down.
it the wrong way this entire
You
time.
motherfucker!
Staring at me.
You can do it the other way too, just invert it.
Cooked, so
Like,
don't
what the
worry.
fuck are you doing?
Squid if I'm not around.
Leave me alone.
Why
I
don't we eat
couldn't
lunch
do
too?
it, okay?
I'll go get some stuff for us then.
I was trying to do it the other way.
You're eating that even here?
My staple food.
This should be a familiar flavor. Yet how does it taste so good?
What's up, Makoto? You ain't eating much. Not feeling well or something?
You just don't get it, do you, Ryuji? When a girl's in a swimsuit, she wants to look as slim as possible. Still, you're worrying too much. Did you make sure to eat breakfast?
Mona lacks tact.
So, what do we do now? Should we play some beach volleyball?
Oh, sorry. Us girls already made plans to ride a banana boat.
We could only rent a 3-person one. Sorry.
Wait, then what about us?
Keep an eye on our stuff.
Hell no! Why you gotta treat us like that? We're celebrities making headlines. You should treat us better.
I do think they're not bad in the metaverse, but in reality... Strange, isn't it?
Sick
They
burn.
can steal treasures, but they don't seem like they can steal a girl's heart at all.
I don't even talk.
Lady On. Can we get to
Also,
the banana
I'm charming
boat
as
already?
fuck.
Oh, sorry.
Look how
We'll go
small
now.
she is.
She's fucking tiny.
We'll switch when we're done. Keep an eye on our stuff for us.
Aunt's proportions are a little weird.
They are a little weird.
But I guess
think
it's the art style.
Well, I think the framing of this shot was a little strange.
How amazing we are.
A little.
It made
Like
them
this-
seem like
this
they were
shot?
taller than
No way we're the same as
they
other
It's
should
not.
be.
That's not what I
Shouldn't we be
mean.
having
Like
more good
it's
times in
literally
reality,
like the
too?
curve of
Oh,
her
okay.
torso is very One Piece-esque. You know,
Yeah.
it goes in pretty far. It makes it pretty thin. but I guess that's just the art style.
You talking about this one for like 10 years, so we're gonna be here for a while.
Oh yeah, it was like, I think he was getting full of himself. Because he is kinda, and it's like, we need to remain anonymous for a reason. People are not going to be, people aren't gonna like recognize us, but that's the price for being anonymous. It's also the safety of anonymity. So you can't expect
whatever you just said.
People to be treating you better when you're a fucking masked hero. And it's him being greedy. It's him wanting something that you're just not getting with the masked hero thing.
Can you edit in a poster of the Masked movie?
Yeah.
Starring, what's his face? What was that guy?
Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey, that was his name.
Are you fucking real right now?
I just forgot for a minute, you know, sometimes you forget people's names, like, Danny DeVito, you know, sometimes I forget. Jesus Christ, Sky, hurry up!
Did you see, let me, listen, the entire session cannot you be yelling about how long it takes me to pick something.
If you put it that
Go,
way,
I'm sorry, I was just...
Did you see Jim Carrey fucking talking about how none of this matters and that, like, Jim Carrey isn't real?
Hey,
did Jim Carrey say he isn't real?
Notice how amazing we are as phantom thieves.
Well, you gotta steal.
Well, that fucking changed my life.
No, it didn't.
I mean, it kinda did. I was always a big fan of Happy Gilmore, so...
Hearts? He wasn't... What?
I was wondering if you would say...
Ann made fun of us and all? Let's show her what we're really made of.
I see. I just need to prove my skills in reality as well.
Let's steal all the hearts with the skills we've honed as phantom thieves. I'm sure girls will be all over us considering the vibes we give off.
Very well. Let's do this.
I don't know why he's wearing
work
that.
in reality doesn't sound bad.
The hood.
Yeah.
Get settled
He's
then.
pale as fuck.
So, Mona, you're in charge of watching
He
over
was
our
gonna get
stuff, okay?
sunburned.
So is us.
Huh?
So is us.
Alright, let's hurry up and go.
So is us.
Just leave me alone,
See you
Sky.
later, cat.
Hey,
This
what
is
the
why
hell?
we don't
Get back
talk here.
here. Don't leave me behind!
Sorry, cat. We gotta go get some girls.
Operation Babe Hunt.
Begins. No, no
Not
luck.
as good as in P3, because in that game you get to play.
You get to play and you get to, like, talk and choose stuff.
And you find a robot girl.
And you find a robot girl. You don't find a robot girl here. Unless you
We
count
need robot
Futaba,
girls in
robot
this
girl.
game, to be honest.
They exist. Robot girls exist.
It's true.
It's part of this world's canon.
You just gotta open them up. Vor.
That's bad. You gotta open up and see if there's gore or lore within. Wasn't? Oh, this is like randomly not voiced.
I mean, that's fine.
Feel better. Feel better.
Oh, I would have told him to give up.
Feel better.
I don't even
okay.
remember what we talked about during this part.
Probably Operation Babe Hunt, because that was a pretty good part.
Yeah. Until you lost it.
Don't say that I'm like the only one who messed up. We were going at it as a team, right? I've sensed a presence staring at us for some time now.
Oh, he was still talking.
We're being followed? Wait, does this mean girls are gonna hit on us? There he goes.
He just leaves.
He just leaves. I told you they'd be here.
That shit's
These
so
lovely
random.
boys look like they're just begging to be hit on.
Ryuji, like, notices them and is just, like, gone instantly.
You're those guys from Shinjuku. What are you doing here? Oh my, I can't believe we've been reunited in such a stunning place. Seems like destiny to me.
No.
We're the fashion police. If you don't answer our questions, we'll take you away. So which one of us do you think is more manly? What are you talking about? Oh dear, your time is up. Sorry, but it was a trick question. The correct answer is... we're both lovely. You interfered with our duties by not answering the question. I sentence you to... stripping. Ooh, my fashionista skills would be perfect for this. Hands behind your backs.
Get him!
The suspects are escaping! Catch them! I think we lost them.
Wait.
By the way, where's Yusuke? So this is where you two were. I just can't go over. I can't. Why does he have them?
Well, he left and then he came back with friends.
What are you doing with those lobsters?
He gained
While you were
friends.
busy with your interrogation, I found these beautiful specimens on sale. And so I decided to spend the last of my money on them. Man, you're real hopeless when it comes to cash.
Where did he
Wait,
get
were
the
you
first
watching
part of
this?
his money?
Why didn't you help? Apologies, but I was entranced. The moment I set eyes on this distinct shape, I was in love. I haven't had my very core shaken as vigorously as this since the first time On entered my gaze.
Oh.
Good for you. Ooh.
I'm very sorry.
We're here with friends. Come on, don't lie to us, baby. How about you come for a nice cruise on our boat? There is going to be a party too. Tons of celebrities and industry people.
Is that
Are you
guy
even
just
listening
Tommy?
to us? Sorry about the wait. So you're serious about being here with friends? That's what we've been saying from the start. Don't you find it boring spending your time with kids like that? It's far more interesting than anything involving you two. Who's that? Hey, let's just let the children have fun with fellow children. We'll be going now.
I didn't know
Goodbye.
both of them were Tommy.
No, one was like, hey, you're fucking dude, what's up? I'm your bro.
Basically the same thing.
No, Tommy's were like, I want to be vampire.
This is the same thing.
This is different inflections.
You're a dog.
You're a dog, Luigi.
Huh? What?
Ooh, are those lobsters? One in each hand.
He's
I was wondering about
double-fisting.
that myself. Are you gonna make them into sashimi? Or perhaps roast them whole?
What?
Enough of your vile postulations. These are purely for the sake of visual appreciation.
Save
You're
them.
you're gonna kill those lobsters. You're shaking them.
We need to cook them so they scream.
We did tons of stuff today. All in all, I guess coming to the beach is pretty worth it. I actually do.
Yeah, I know. Have you ever done that before?
No.
I've never done it also.
We should probably start heading home.
Agreed. Let's pack up.
Futaba seemed fine in the crowd, too. So it looks like she's overcome her last exercise.
Hey, Futaba! We're going home! Stop standing around and help us!
You know, all this time, I thought that it was my fault that my mom died.
Uh-huh.
It's because everyone said that I killed her. Everyone looked at me thinking I was a murderer. I ended up hating this world. That's why I shut myself in and covered my ears. I wished my mom would come back to life. Sometimes I'd wake up and think it was all a dream. But nothing had changed in the world. That's why I'd sleep again. It'd be a repeat of that. I loved my mom. I wanted to become like her. How she'd work late into the night. How she'd wake up early and make me a boxed lunch every day. How she'd do her best to further her research. How she'd scold me for peeking at her notes.
It was cognitive science, wasn't it?
The cognitive world can become distorted through desires. If it becomes distorted, a person begins exhibiting problematic behavior in reality. That cognitive world disappears when you remove its core, and further problematic actions stop.
Isn't that about palaces?
That's the metaverse! She knew about that?
It made no sense back then. But now I understand, after it actually happened to me. All I thought about was my mom. I was trapped in a cognitive labyrinth. I couldn't get out of it. There was nothing I could do by myself.
That's why you asked us to steal your heart? That's a huge jump in logic in so many ways.
At first, I didn't believe the rumors about the Phantom Thieves, that they steal hearts. But I overheard you accidentally. I learned that you were near me.
Overheard? Ah, the bug. So why were you listening in on LeBlanc in the first place?
I had to keep an eye on Sojiro, make sure he was actually working.
Talk about an awful hobby.
You talked about stealing hearts. When I heard that, I was so happy I jumped up and down. I thought, maybe the Phantom Thieves could cure my heart.
You could have just told us from the start.
You might have been wary of me if I asked out of nowhere. And besides, you could have been bad guys. That's why I cautiously got in contact with you. I checked many times to see how you'd react.
Yes. You had us twisted around your little finger.
But Futaba, you didn't talk to anyone besides Boss for a long time, right? You must have needed a lot of courage to contact the Phantom Thieves.
There were 2 reasons for it. One was Medjed's taunt. The Phantom Thieves were so pitiful it frustrated me. I would have been in trouble if they got disbanded too.
Indeed. You were our only hope.
The other was what I heard through wiretapping LeBlanc. Sojiro was being blamed with lies, like abusing me. He was being threatened to spill everything about my mom.
Talk about making shit up.
It made me sad, and it hurt. I thought, I have to save Sojiro. I gotta do something.
So that's why.
The Phantom Thieves. I didn't think you guys would be taking such risks for me. I didn't think you'd worry about me so much. I'm sorry that I acted like I doubted you guys.
Do you believe in us now?
Yeah, I can tell. You aren't bad guys. That's why I have a request. Let me join your team.
There's nothing to join. You're already one of us.
I'll be honest. Changing people's hearts isn't my goal. I want to learn what happened to my mom. The reason why she was killed.
Killed?
It was written in her notes. Should the self in the cognitive world die, the self in the real world would lose consciousness.
Is this about mental shutdowns?
Then the criminal that Kaneshiro mentioned.
Yes. That could be the case. I don't like pursuing this line of thought. But perhaps your mother's shadow was...
I don't know for sure. Like right before my mom died, she didn't seem right.
In what way?
No matter how much I talked to her, she wouldn't answer back. And she didn't jump into the road, it was more like she collapsed and fell in. That's why I thought what was written in the notes was real, and looked into it. I read books, checked theses that were released online. I even snuck into the networks of various research labs to look at their classified data.
That's why you're good at hacking. What kind of brain do you have?
But I didn't figure anything out. My mom's research was nowhere to be found. She was killed by someone, and her research was treated like it never existed. I bet it's them. Those adults in the black suits who read the fake suicide note. I'll never forgive them.
Futaba.
If I stay with you guys, I think I can find out more about that world. Then eventually, it might even lead to those men in black. It's a super personal reason why I want to join you. Is that okay? Or would I just be dead weight?
If anything, you're dependable. Ain't that right, Mona?
Why are you looking at me? Are you trying to say I'm inadequate?
Well, she was more useful than you, as a matter of fact.
Hey, that's inexcusable! This is what our Phantom Thieves are like. But I hope we get along, Futaba.
Thanks.
Let's leave those two be. Why don't we lose no time and decide on Futaba's codename?
What's that?
It's not cool if we called each other by our real names.
Joker, Skull, Mona, Panther, Queen, and I'm Fox.
In Futaba's case, hacker wouldn't be right, would it?
Mech?
PC?
No.
Why don't we go literal and call her Goggles?
Super lame. You've got no taste, kitty.
In your face!
Do you have any good ideas for Futaba's codename?
I think Pharaoh makes the most sense, but I know that's not internet.
I think she is my favorite codename.
It's pretty damn good, actually.
Yeah.
I do like her codename a lot. I mean, Skull's pretty cool just on its own, because it's Skull.
Too simple. What would you want
but
it to be, Futaba?
Queen's great. Queen's a great codename.
Oracle. With my vision, I'll guide
but-
you all to victory.
Goddamn, Oracle is so cool.
Then Futaba will be Oracle.
But man, I never even dreamed that the rumored Phantom Thieves would be so close.
Same goes to you. To think you'd be the daughter of a metaverse researcher. Talk about a mysterious fate. Should we get going then?
Yep, let's go home.
Do you know who voices Futaba?
I don't.
It's Erica Lindbeck.
Yes. The incident
She
with
does
Medjet
Magilou in
seems to have been
Berseria.
more effective than predicted.
Oh.
This
Which is
should
pretty
spur
funny.
The Phantom Thieves support
Completely
even more now.
like different character.
I still don't like Magilo's
There are
character design.
effective ways
Oh,
to
but she's
use the
awesome.
Phantom Thieves.
Her character
Now
design.
would be
I don't
the
know
best
anything
time
about her
to
character.
dispose
She's
of
great.
Unnecessary
Like,
trash,
I'll probably
whether
like.
they're
See, for instance,
connected
I don't
to
like
us
that.
or not.
Who's the fucking girl in Hysteria that I didn't like at first? Edna. I didn't like her
Edna.
at first because it was like, oh man, another young character in a Tales game. Because we got to fill that fucking slot. Every game has to have a young character in it, a baby. But then, like, I found it a fuck, and I found her origin being a poor excuse to have her take the form of a small child. But
that's like
I
the
love
world,
her character
though.
so much, though. Her character's great. Like,
I
to the
think
point that I
it's-
can ignore the child thing.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's fine if it's not just her. That's just like a world thing. That's their race in general.
Well, I mean,
you're literally born as whatever you come out as.
Yeah, but they don't. But that's still, like, yeah, they could have done that, but then they could have just made her more closer to an adult. They could have just, if it, like, it's as easy as just saying, well, let's just change her design to make more sense. But like I said,
but that's like saying there aren't allowed to be child seraphim, you know?
Well, they don't age. They don't have a concept of child or adult.
Well, yeah, but I mean like in form.
I was under the impression that they could take whatever form they wanted, or like they could choose.
I don't think they choose. I think it's just they just show up that way.
Also, then why would their race be inclined to be born under that form? Why would they evolve in that way? It's a strange thing. Well, like, they're a race like anything else. They're a species.
They don't reproduce in the same way we do, though.
No, they don't. But you know, it's for me, like, lore. I'm not saying that the lore reason is inadequate for the explanation. Like, the lore reason is fine. Like, you can come up with whatever reason you want to have a kid in your game. Like, there's a multitude of things you could do to have that happen.
I don't see a big problem with having kids in games, to be honest. If there's sense in them being there.
Because if a kid is in a fucking death battle, they're not going to handle it well. They don't have the mental fortitude to do it.
Well, in that situation, they do, though.
Nice.
What? But how?
In Zestiria and Berseria, they do, because...
Well, that's because she's not human.
Yeah, and that's why.
That's why I said I can overlook it, too. It's like, her character... the lore reason ends up being fine because she's not human. She's not a natural humanoid race. She's a humanoid supernatural race.
That's what I'm saying, is like... I think it's fine as long as there's sense in what they want to tell in their story. If we're talking like just kid, Annis doesn't make sense.
Annis doesn't make sense.
There you go. That's a better example.
As much as I hate to say it, Genus doesn't make sense.
Genus doesn't make sense.
As much as I love Genus, but
Berseria and Zestiria, I think they knew what they were going for with that one.
they can work. It's just, it's for me with the Tales of series with their party members. It's kind of, to me, it feels like they have like a checklist with like character tropes that they have to fulfill. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just when Tales of games are starting to come out every other year because they have 2 teams working on them.
Well, that's only because of translation, really.
Yeah.
There's actually a couple of years apart between them, and even now, Berseria came out like a couple. I think like I don't know when it came out, but they haven't even like said a word about a new one. It takes them like 6
months to translate, just about. But like my point is that a character, the actual character itself, can override the character design if they're well written. Like, I don't care about, the reason I don't care about Genus being a kid is because Genus is just a fun character to be around. I love him. He's like my baby boy and my best friend. But even though he's like a young boy, you know,
yeah,
like I don't mind it because he's well written. I don't mind Edna
I think
because
that
she's well written.
Even if it is sort of like a checklist, which I can give you on that, all of them are usually well written.
God damn it, fucking hit the mic again.
Nice. Like Berseria probably has the best cast in the entire series. Just of how well they're
that's
written.
Great. Like if Magilou ends up being, for me, if she ends up being a great character for me, Magilou. If she ends up being a great character for me, then fine, great. I will overlook her character design. I won't care about it because she is a better character.
And Zestiria also has one of the best casts in the series, in my opinion.
Zestiria's cast is pretty good.
The only thing holding that game back is the battle system and the story, which Berseria kind of cleaned up a bit.
How's that? Well, the collectathon thing too isn't great unless you keep up with it.
Yeah.
Unless you really search, but you have to kind of search the world in some cases.
Jeez.
They're not too far off the path.
In a few cases, but if you keep up with it, it's really not that big of a deal.
Problem is that I'm so far in, I don't know which, like, I'm trying to complete it so I can finally play Berseria. I just don't know which ones I have to get now.
Yeah.
I don't know which ones I'm looking for.
I think there's like advice
we completely ignored this social link. Rank you up.
Rank you up. I'm sorry, we just started talking about Tales.
That happens. That happens. When I get into a discussion with Creed about Tales of, that fucking happens.
Alright.
Damn it.
The point
LeBlanc
is...
curry. And now I can make Kawakami make a curry.
Honestly, the stories in those games can be shitholes, but as long as the characters are well written, I'm good. You know?
I care about character at the end of the day. I care about personality. I care about how they react to events. How they are written at the end of the day. Even if they're plain, even if they're ugly, it's like whatever.
Now then.
Well,
most of the characters in this game, for instance, are very well written.
Yeah,
and they're
decent.
They're pretty well written. And there's only like a few characters that stand out as like, I don't really like you or what you're doing.